Have you ever felt that stab of pain in your knees, hips, or back the moment your feet hit the floor in the morning? That moment when you wonder if today will be another day of struggling to move, another day of letting pain limit where you can go and what you can do. What if I told you that thousands of seniors who once faced daily agony are now walking comfortably again, enjoying activities they'd given up years ago, all because of a simple 3-minute ritual they do before breakfast? Many people believe that pain is just part of aging, that once your joints start deteriorating, there's nothing you can do but take more medications or eventually face surgery. But this couldn't be further from the truth. I've seen people in their 80s and even 90s regain mobility they thought was lost forever. The secret isn't found in expensive treatments or miracle drugs. It's in a simple sequence of gentle movements that activate your body's natural healing mechanisms. In this video, I'll share the 6 essential components of this 3-minute morning ritual that's changing lives. Stay with me until the end, because the last technique is one that most doctors never mention, yet it might be the most powerful way to eliminate inflammation and restore pain-free movement to your daily life. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you enjoy this video, please type 1 in the comments. If you don't like it, type 0 in the comments to let me know so I can make better videos for you. Now, let's get started. Number 1. The Gentle Awakening Stretch. The first component of this life-changing morning ritual starts before you even get out of bed. Many seniors make a critical mistake the moment they wake up. They immediately try to stand and walk without giving their body time to transition from sleep to movement. This sudden shift shocks your joints and muscles, creating instant pain that can last all day. When you sleep, fluid builds up in your joints, and your muscles tighten in certain positions. Jumping straight into movement forces these stiff joints to bear your full weight without preparation. It's like trying to drive a car without warming up the engine on a freezing winter morning. You're asking for trouble. Instead, the Gentle Awakening Stretch gives your body the transition time it needs. While still lying in bed, extend your arms over your head and feel a gentle stretch through your entire body. Then, slowly rotate your ankles in small circles, 5 times in each direction. Next, bend and straighten your knees one at a time, bringing each knee toward your chest as comfortably as possible. These simple movements may seem insignificant, but they're actually sending critical signals to your nervous system. They're telling your body to start increasing blood flow to your extremities, to begin releasing lubricating fluid into your joints, and to activate muscles that have been dormant during sleep. Take Margaret, for example. At 78, she had almost given up on walking without her walker. Every morning she would wake up, immediately swing her legs over the side of the bed, and feel shooting pain through her knees and lower back as soon as her feet touched the floor. Her doctor told her it was just arthritis and age-related degeneration, suggesting she might need a hip replacement soon. Then Margaret learned about the Gentle Awakening Stretch. She started spending just 60 seconds doing these simple movements before getting out of bed. Within a week, she noticed the morning pain had decreased significantly. After a month, she could walk to the bathroom without her walker. Now, after 6 months of this simple morning ritual, Margaret walks through her neighborhood every day, something she hadn't been able to do for nearly 5 years. The beauty of this technique is that it requires no special equipment, no prescription, and takes less than a minute to complete. Yet it can make the difference between starting your day in pain or starting it with comfortable, confident movement. Remember, how you begin your morning sets the tone for your entire day, especially when it comes to your mobility and comfort. Number 2, the Circulation Activator. The second component of this 3-minute ritual focuses on something most seniors never think about: restoring proper blood flow to the legs and feet after a night of reduced circulation. While you sleep, your heart rate slows and blood tends to pool in larger vessels, meaning your extremities, especially your feet and legs, don't receive optimal circulation. This reduced blood flow contributes significantly to morning stiffness and pain. Poor circulation doesn't just make movement uncomfortable, it also prevents your body from healing microscopic damage to muscles and joints that naturally occurs during daily activities. Without proper blood flow, inflammation builds up, pain increases, and your mobility gradually declines over time. The Circulation Activator targets this problem directly. Sitting on the edge of your bed, place your feet flat on the floor, then simply tap your toes rapidly against the floor for 20 seconds, almost like you're quietly playing a piano with your feet. Next, raise your heels while keeping your toes on the floor for 5 seconds. Then reverse by raising your toes while keeping your heels down. Repeat this 5 times. This seemingly simple movement creates a pumping action in your legs, helping to move blood that has pooled overnight back into circulation. It's like priming a pump before it can start working properly. As fresh, oxygen-rich blood flows into your feet, ankles, and legs, it brings healing nutrients and removes inflammatory compounds that cause pain. Take Robert, a 76-year-old former mail carrier who had walked for decades on his route. His legs had served him well for years, but in retirement, he found himself struggling with painful, swollen ankles every morning. Getting from his bedroom to the kitchen felt like walking on broken glass. His doctor prescribed anti-inflammatory medications, which helped somewhat, but left him worried about long-term side effects. When Robert added the circulation activator to his morning routine, he noticed an immediate difference. The first day, I couldn't believe it. My feet didn't feel like wooden blocks for the first time in years, he told me. After 3 weeks, the swelling in his ankles had visibly decreased, and he was able to reduce his medication. Now he does this simple exercise every morning without fail, crediting it with giving him back the freedom to walk comfortably again. What makes this technique so effective is that it works with your body's natural healing mechanisms rather than trying to override them with medications. By improving circulation first thing in the morning, you're creating the optimal internal environment for reduced inflammation and pain throughout the day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now let's move forward. Number 3. The Spinal Wave Release. The third component of this morning ritual addresses perhaps the most overlooked source of walking pain, your spine. Most people focus on their knees or hips when experiencing pain while walking, but the truth is that many walking problems actually begin in the back. Your spine is the central support structure for your entire body, and when it's stiff or misaligned, it creates a cascade of compensation patterns that eventually lead to pain in the knees, hips, and feet. During sleep, your spine tends to stiffen in whatever position you maintain the longest. This is especially true for seniors, whose spinal discs have lost some of their natural cushioning over time. When you stand up with a stiff spine, your body has to compensate for this lack of flexibility, placing extra stress on your joints with every step you take. The Spinal Wave Release solves this problem with a gentle, flowing movement that restores mobility to your entire back. Sitting on the edge of your bed with your feet flat on the floor, place your hands on your knees. Inhale deeply as you arch your back slightly, looking up toward the ceiling. Then exhale completely as you round your back, bringing your chin toward your chest. Move slowly between these positions 5 times, focusing on creating a wave-like motion through your entire spine. This simple movement lubricates the facet joints between your vertebrae, hydrates your spinal discs, and relaxes the deep muscles along your spine that often tighten overnight. Most importantly, it reestablishes proper movement patterns before you put weight through your legs, reducing the compensations that lead to pain. Consider the story of Helen, an 82-year-old who had always been active until persistent hip pain began limiting her walking. After several doctor visits and x-rays, she was told she had moderate arthritis in her hips and should prepare for possible hip replacement surgery. As her condition worsened, Helen was devastated at the thought of major surgery at her age. Before committing to surgery, Helen learned about the spinal wave release and added it to her morning routine. Within 2 weeks, she noticed something surprising. Her hip pain had decreased significantly, especially during the first hour after waking. After 6 weeks of this simple practice, Helen could walk for 30 minutes without stopping to rest because of pain. Her doctor was surprised at her improvement and agreed to postpone any discussion of surgery. What Helen discovered was that her hip pain wasn't actually originating in her hip. It was coming from stiffness in her lower back that was altering her walking mechanics and placing extra stress on her hip joints. By restoring proper spinal movement first thing in the morning, she addressed the root cause rather than just treating the symptom. This technique is particularly valuable because it focuses on prevention rather than reaction. Instead of waiting for pain to develop and then trying to relieve it, the spinal wave release proactively restores proper function before compensations can develop. And because it takes just 30 seconds to complete, it's an easy addition to any morning routine, regardless of your current mobility level. Number 4. The Joint Fluid Activator. The fourth component of this powerful morning ritual addresses a critical but rarely discussed aspect of joint health: synovial fluid activation. Your joints are surrounded by a special fluid that acts like nature's perfect lubricant, allowing smooth, pain-free movement. As you age, this fluid becomes thicker and less effective, especially after periods of inactivity like sleeping. Without proper lubrication, your joints experience increased friction, leading to that familiar grinding pain with every step. Most seniors make the mistake of trying to walk off this stiffness, but this actually creates micro damage to your joint surfaces before proper lubrication has been established. It's like running a car engine without oil. You're causing wear and tear that could be easily avoided. The Joint Fluid Activator uses gentle, controlled movements to stimulate the production and distribution of synovial fluid before you put your full weight on your joints. While seated on your bed or a chair, extend one leg in front of you and trace 10 small circles with your foot, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. Repeat with the other foot, then bend and straighten each knee 10 times, moving slowly and deliberately. These controlled movements create a pumping action within the joint capsules, drawing synovial fluid into all the surfaces of your knees, ankles, and hip joints. This natural lubricant then forms a protective cushion between your bones, reducing friction and preventing the inflammation that leads to pain. Take Frank, a 79-year-old who loved gardening, but had been increasingly limited by knee pain. Every morning, his first 50 steps felt like walking on broken glass. He had tried glucosamine supplements, prescription anti-inflammatories, and even cortisone injections, with only temporary relief. His doctor had begun discussing knee replacement surgery as his cartilage continued to wear down. When Frank learned about the Joint Fluid Activator and added it to his morning ritual, he was skeptical but willing to try anything to avoid surgery. After just 3 days, he noticed that his first morning steps weren't quite as painful. By the 2-week mark, he could walk to his garden without the usual agony. "I still have arthritis," Frank explained, "but it's like someone oiled my joints. The grinding sensation is gone, and I can move without that initial torture period." What makes this technique so effective is that it works with your body's natural healing mechanisms. Your body already produces this miraculous lubricant. You just need to activate it properly instead of immediately placing demands on under joints. It's particularly effective for knees, hips, and ankles, the very joints that bear the most weight when walking. This part of the ritual takes approximately 45 seconds to complete, but can save you hours of pain throughout the day. And unlike medications, which often come with concerning side effects, this natural approach supports your body's own healing systems, making it safe for daily use, regardless of age or current health conditions. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. The Muscle Activation Sequence. The fifth component of this morning ritual addresses a critical aspect of pain-free walking that most people completely overlook: muscle activation. Many seniors experience walking pain not because their joints are severely damaged, but because their muscles are activating in the wrong sequence, creating harmful pressure on their joints with every step. During sleep, your nervous system essentially resets, causing certain muscles to become temporarily dormant. When you get up and immediately start walking, your body often bypasses smaller, stabilizing muscles and relies too heavily on larger muscles that weren't designed for constant stability. This creates a dangerous situation where your joints aren't properly supported, leading to increased wear and tear with every step. The muscle activation sequence solves this problem by waking up your key stabilizing muscles in the proper order before you stand. While seated, tighten your lower abdominal muscles by gently drawing your belly button toward your spine and hold for 5 seconds. Release and repeat 3 times. Next, squeeze your gluteal muscles, the muscles in your buttocks tightly for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat 3 times. Finally, press your heels into the floor while tightening the front of your thighs for 5 seconds, then release. This sequence activates the core stabilizing muscles that support your pelvis and spine, followed by the hip stabilizers, and finally, the leg muscles. By turning these muscles on in the correct order, you're establishing proper movement patterns before taking your first step, ensuring that your joints are supported by active muscles rather than passive ligaments and joint capsules. Consider Alice, a 77-year-old who had been living with persistent hip pain for years. She could walk, but only for short distances before needing to sit down. Multiple doctors had told her this was simply age-related degeneration that she would have to live with. She had resigned herself to a life of limited mobility and constant discomfort. Then Alice learned about the muscle activation sequence and added it to her morning routine. The first week, I didn't notice much difference, she admitted. But by the second week, something remarkable happened. I realized I was walking to the mailbox without thinking about my hip. After a month of this simple ritual, Alice was walking through the grocery store without needing to use the electric cart for the first time in 2 years. What Alice discovered was that her pain wasn't coming from irreversible joint damage. It was coming from muscles that weren't engaging properly to support her joints. By consciously activating these muscles each morning, she retrained her nervous system to use the right muscles at the right time, taking pressure off her painful joints and allowing them to function as designed. This technique is particularly valuable because it addresses the root cause of many walking problems, rather than just masking the symptoms. It takes just 30 seconds to complete, but reestablishes proper muscle coordination that will benefit you throughout the entire day. And unlike pain medications which lose effectiveness over time, this approach actually becomes more effective with consistent practice as your nervous system strengthens these important neural pathways. Number 6. The anti-inflammatory breathing method. The final component of this transformative morning ritual is perhaps the most surprising and the one most doctors never mention. It's a specific breathing technique that directly reduces inflammation throughout your body, including in your painful joints. This might sound too simple to be effective, but research has shown that certain breathing patterns have a powerful effect on your nervous system and inflammatory responses. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary causes of persistent joint pain. While some inflammation is a normal part of your body's healing process, ongoing inflammation creates a cycle of pain and tissue damage that can be difficult to break. Most people turn to anti-inflammatory medications, but these often come with serious side effects, especially when used long-term. The anti-inflammatory breathing method offers a natural alternative. Sitting comfortably with your eyes closed, place one hand on your chest and one on your abdomen. Take a slow breath in through your nose for a count of 4, focusing on filling your lower lungs first. Your abdomen should rise more than your chest. Hold the breath gently for a count of 2, then exhale slowly through pursed lips for a count of 6, completely emptying your lungs. Repeat this cycle 5 times. This breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system, which naturally reduces inflammation throughout your body. When you extend your exhale longer than your inhale, you trigger a cascade of hormonal responses that lower stress hormones like cortisol, while increasing anti-inflammatory compounds in your bloodstream. Take John, an 81-year-old with rheumatoid arthritis who had been dependent on strong medications for years. Despite his prescriptions, he still woke up every morning with stiff, swollen joints that made walking painful. His doctor had warned him about the long-term effects of his medications, but saw no alternative given the severity of his condition. When John added the anti-inflammatory breathing method to his morning routine, he was skeptical that something so simple could help with such a serious condition. But after just 1 week, he noticed that the morning swelling in his fingers had decreased slightly. After a month of consistent practice, he reported to his doctor that his overall pain levels had decreased enough that he wanted to discuss reducing his medication dosage. What makes this technique so powerful is that it works at a systemic level, addressing inflammation throughout your entire body, rather than just in specific joints. It helps regulate your immune system's response, preventing the overreactions that lead to chronic inflammation. Unlike medications which often lose effectiveness over time, This approach actually becomes more powerful with consistent practice as your body becomes more responsive to these calming signals. This final component of the ritual takes just 45 seconds, but provides benefits that last for hours. It's also completely safe, with no side effects or contraindications, making it appropriate for everyone regardless of age or health status. Combined with the previous 5 elements, it completes a comprehensive approach to morning mobility that addresses the physical, neurological, and biochemical aspects of pain-free movement. Final thoughts. As we wrap up our discussion of this powerful 3-minute morning ritual, let's take a moment to review what we've learned. We've explored the gentle awakening stretch that prepares your body for movement before you ever leave the bed. We've discovered the circulation activator that restores proper blood flow to your extremities after hours of reduced circulation. We've examined the spinal wave release that reestablishes proper back mobility before you stand. We've also learned about the joint fluid activator that stimulates natural lubrication in your weight-bearing joints, the muscle activation sequence that ensures your stabilizing muscles engage in the proper order, and finally, the anti-inflammatory breathing method that reduces systemic inflammation naturally. Together, these 6 simple techniques create a comprehensive approach to morning mobility that addresses the most common causes of walking pain in seniors. What makes this ritual so effective is that it works with your body's natural healing mechanisms rather than trying to override them with medications or pushing through pain. It's about preparation, not compensation, giving your body the transition time it needs to move from sleep to active movement without shock or strain. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need special equipment, expensive supplements, or even much time. Just 3 minutes each morning before you start your day. Yet those 3 minutes can make the difference between struggling with each step and walking with confidence and comfort. If you're among the millions of seniors who have accepted pain as an inevitable part of aging, I urge you to reconsider. The stories of Margaret, Robert, Helen, Frank, Alice, and John demonstrate that age-related pain isn't always irreversible. Sometimes, it's simply the result of movement patterns and morning habits that can be easily corrected with the right approach. I encourage you to try this ritual tomorrow morning. Start with just 1 or 2 components if the entire sequence seems overwhelming. Pay attention to how your body feels, not just immediately, but throughout the day. Many people notice improvements within days, while others may take a few weeks to experience the full benefits. The key is consistency, making this ritual as much a part of your morning as brushing your teeth. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.